If you haven't watched this video yet, you might want to check that out first. It's all about my morning routine, and I wanted to share it because I find that we're really hard on ourselves, and one of the worst things that you can do is set yourself up for failure by setting all of these things you have to do every day and all of these habits that you have to create for yourself, and you're trying to do them to better yourself, but then you end up feeling crappy about yourself because you haven't done them. So I made that video to kind of debunk some of the myths around morning routines and that they have to be the same every day, because they don't. You have to find what works for you, and so that's what I shared in that video. And kind of creating a menu of things that will work for you to set yourself up for success every single day. So I wanted to go further than that and share with you the 7 habits that have truly, I really do mean this from the bottom of my heart, changed my life. And these have been things that I have been working on for the last couple of years, and I feel like I really have them dialed in now. And just like I shared in the morning routine video, they're things that you can adapt to make work for you. And you don't have to do them all at once. You don't have to do them all every single day, but each of these things has contributed to me being healthier, happier, in love, in a healthy relationship, loving on my family and my friends in more ways than I was able to when I was constantly working myself silly and reaching burnout. So I wanted to share these with you because if you're in a place where you're trying to make some positive, healthy, happy changes in your life, I know that these will really help you, and none of them are that hard to do. So if you're excited about this, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single time I share a new video, and let's get into it. So the very first thing that honestly, I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. It is mind-blowing to me how I didn't do this earlier. And it's really prioritizing. That's the first habit. I know that sounds really simple, but prioritizing and planning. I was one of those people, tell me if you can relate, who basically would write like a massive to-do list every day, and then when I didn't get it done, I'd beat myself up. So now I have 4 daily priorities every single day. I've talked about this in other videos. We'll link to or put a few of the thumbnails on the screen right now and link to them in the description below where you can check out more details. But I made a video on how I plan my week, and you can check that out here. And I talked about these 4 daily priorities, and it kind of blew people's minds because I do run a fairly big business, and I have a lot of clients, I have a team, I have a relationship, I have a personal life, I have fun, I have a balance in my life, if there is such a thing as balance, but I flow really easily in my life now, and it's because I have prioritized, and I've kept my priorities every day the same. And if something doesn't work towards these priorities, then I probably don't need to be doing it, because sometimes we just fill our to-do list with things to be busy. So what are my priorities? Let's take a look. Okay, so I showed this in another video, but I wanted to show it again here. My lovely, beautiful daily priorities that never come off the board. And yes, I have upgraded from paper on my wall. That's what was in the last video, and people were like, you should probably get a whiteboard. So yes, I have upgraded from that. So my daily priorities are book sales calls, drive webinar and program traffic, get customer and client testimonials, and have the best product in the business, so product development. Those are the only things I do every single day. And it allows me to keep it really simple. And then I take those 4 priorities and I look at my whole year, I look at the next quarter, I look at the next month, and then I look at the next day. And I write out only the things that need to be done that contribute to those 4 key priorities. So I'm not overwhelming the crap out of myself. And the amount of things that I have said no to in the last year that I would have said yes to a year ago is crazy. Because here's the thing, opportunities are gonna come your way and people are gonna want you for things. But it doesn't mean you have to do everything that comes at you, because there's an opportunity cost to everything you do. So if I'm gonna travel and go speak at this conference, it's gonna take me away from my clients and my business and generating revenue. And in some ways it might help, in some ways it might hurt. So you have to really weigh the opportunity cost of everything that comes your way, and that's what I've been doing this last year, and our business has doubled. So I've said no a lot more than I said yes, because I'm so clear on my daily priorities. So what are your top 4? You can even put them in the comments below, or just think about it for yourself. They're generally very simple, and we tend to overcomplicate the crap out of them. So that's the big thing there is prioritizing. That was the first real habit that really changed the game for me. And from that, it's also allowed me to create these to-do lists every day that aren't really to-do lists, and they're more fun for me, and they keep me focused and on track. So I talked about that in my morning routine video, which you can watch right here, and in the description below. But I talked about the fact that every day I write down from the time I wake up to the time I'm finished my workday, everything I'm gonna do, and it includes things like going for a walk, breathing, eating, meditating, all of these things, so that I'm not only working all the time, and it helps me to have more flow and feel more free in my workday, because we're all doing this for freedom at the end of the day. And I wish truly that I had done it sooner. So if you want to understand how I do it, make sure you watch that video on how I plan my week. The next habit is my morning flow. So morning routine, which I talked about in yesterday's video, and it's so important to me, but it's not something that's rigid. And I mentioned this a lot in that video because I used to be the kind of person who would be like, okay, I need to wake up at this time. I need to go to the gym and do the same workout every single day at this time. I need to come home. I need to check my email. I need to and it was exhausting. And I basically went into what I call robot mode. Again, tell me if you can relate to this, where I was basically working on autopilot and I had tuned out of my entire being and body. And that really was what led me to burnout and ending up in the hospital with burnout 3 years ago. And I have never been back there. I haven't experienced that level of anxiety since then. And a big part of that is because of these habits that I'm sharing in this video today. There's systems that I know work for me and contribute to my self-care, but I don't do them all every day. Because when you make it robotic and when you make it rigid, it becomes less fun and it makes me not want to wake up early in the morning. But when I know there's a whole menu of things that I can choose from and I can listen to my body when I wake up and figure out what works for me, that's exciting. That makes me want to get out of bed. So some days I'll do a spin class or do spin at home. Some days I'll go to yoga. Some days I'll just work out in the gym in my apartment and I'll do some weightlifting. Depends on how my body feels. And tuning into that has made me a much healthier version of myself rather than running myself into a wall, basically, which is no fun for anybody. So really listening, not pushing, and not trying to force myself to do things that don't feel right for me. And I think on top of that with the morning routine is I really did have some serious mindset shifts. And you can watch this or look at this Instagram post that I made. I'll link to it below. But I made a graphic about the big mindset shifts, and we can show that right now of what it required for me to get up earlier in the morning, because it really is such a gift, but I used to look at it as punishment. So my morning routine has become the greatest gift I've ever given myself, and it's made me better at everything I do. I am more productive in my business. I'm healthier and happier in my life. I'm better in my relationships because I give myself the gift of time and space, and that's the only currency that we cannot get back. We cannot get time back. So that is my main currency, and it allows me to create more of it. So if you want more time in your day, you want more flow and more peace, highly recommend that you check that out and adopt some of those mindset shifts. Now the next thing is, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but the third big habit for me is listening to my body. So the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning now is I do not go into autopilot mode. I do not just get up and go and get busy. Instead, I get up, I give myself a bit of a breather to kind of get into my day and understand where my body is at that time. Am I feeling tired? Am I feeling like I pushed myself too hard in a workout the day before? Am I feeling stressed out? Am I feeling excited? Am I feeling energized? And I basically take that energy and I figure out from my menu of things that I can do in the morning to make myself feel my best, what do I want to do? And I know that sounds so simple, but a lot of us just tune out. We tune out our bodies, which is crazy because it's yours and you only get one. And I was not listening to my body for a very long time, and I was trying to operate in a way that did not fit who I am as a person. So I know, again, that sounds really simple, but just understanding your body, understanding your red flags. Things for me are like, if my eyes start burning, I know that I'm really overtired, and I should listen to that, and I should get more sleep that night. If my voice sounds a little dry, which it kind of does right now, I need to drink more water. Or I need to rest more, or I need to give myself a break that afternoon. So tuning in and adjusting your schedule and the things that you feel you must do around how you feel in your body will be a game changer for you. The fourth habit that I have put into my life, added into my life, is meditation. And I know it sounds woo-woo and so many people talk about it and such a buzzword, but I'm really proud. I have done thousands of hours of meditation. I was actually checking my app and I'm at about 6,000 hours of meditation. So I do 20 minutes a day. I try and do twice a day. I'm not perfect, but I do 20 minutes a day pretty much every single morning. It's the first thing I do when I wake up. It has changed my life. And I really mean that. It has made me calmer, more focused, more creative, less reactive, less stressed, less anxious. And I kind of look at the success clues, like people like Ellen, Oprah, and all of these other amazing humans practice this kind of meditation. So that kind of tells you that there must be something about it that's really good for you. So it's called TM meditation. I'm gonna put a resource below to where you can find maybe a local center near you, because they have centers all over the world. They have one here in Vancouver, and that's where I took the course to learn TM meditation for myself. I definitely don't think I could have learned it on my own. I needed to go and do the course, and it was so beneficial, and it got me into the habit of doing it daily. And I know it sounds weird and counterintuitive to sit there in silence for 20 minutes and repeat a mantra in your head, but it allows you to cut through the clutter and the noise. And we all need a little more of that, especially in a very hyper-connected world. So meditation has been huge for me, and I really can't recommend it enough. I've told everyone about it, so I wanted to tell you too. And that's the kind that I do. And to add on to the meditation, I would say it's overall mindfulness. And again, I talked about this a lot in my morning video, my morning routine video, but feeding my brain with positivity, especially in the morning. And affirmations, and I made this video just for you with positive affirmations you can listen to in the morning, and that's allowing me to reprogram my brain to believe in myself and to know that I'm creative and to know that there's abundance in the world and to not be scarce and to not be stressed and to not be anxious. And Lord knows that's also necessary right now, because the moment you wake up, how many things are fed to you that are scary. And the moment you hop on social media, which is a part of my job, I'm seeing news fly at me. I'm seeing really awful things happening in the world. That's inevitable. You have to be aware. You should know those things. But why not set yourself up for success by starting your day with positivity in your brain and setting your brain in a space of you can do anything you put your mind to, without the world then coming at you saying, no, you can't. It's a scary place. You're not capable of doing the things you want to do. There's enough outside critics, so you need to be your own biggest advocate by feeding your brain good things to start off your day. Another big habit was removing decisions. Sounds weird, right? So if you watched this video, I talked about my simple steps to financial freedom, and a big piece of that for me was removing decisions. One of those little things was things like my clothes. I donated a lot of my clothes to charity, because I just found every morning I was wasting so much time trying to figure out what to wear, and I work from home. Like, who am I trying to impress? So it just was a waste of my brain space. And I referenced Steve Jobs in that video because he wore the same thing every single day. And you'll notice that's a trend with a lot of really successful people, because they don't want to waste their mental energy on something that's so superficial that truly doesn't make a huge difference. So I know it works for me now. I know what I like. I know my style, and it's very simple. And so I stick with those things because it makes it way easier for me to get dressed in the morning. So trying to remove as many decisions as possible. That's also why my morning routine is so important to me, because I don't need to wake up and go, I don't know what I'm going to do today. I have a menu of things that I know work for me and make me feel great, so I don't have to make the decision. And I take the friction out of most decisions that I do need to make, i.e. working out, exercise. I have a freaking stationary bike. I have a Peloton in my house, because the hardest part of working out for me is getting to the workout. So I was like, how can I make this easier and remove the friction? Put it in my guest bedroom. If I can't make it from my bedroom to my guest bedroom, we have a problem. So I try and make it as easy as possible. Same thing with the gym that I go to is walking distance. It's 4 minutes from my house to the gym that I work out at. It's just, I try and make all of these things easy so there's the least amount of friction, because there's enough hard stuff that you have to deal with during the day. So your habits and the things that you want to do to better yourself should be frictionless. should be easy to achieve, and there shouldn't be decisions involved. So waking up and getting a menu in front of me or knowing a menu in my head of what works has made a big difference in my life, because I'm not wasting that brain space on those things, and I'm putting that brain space into my business and my relationships. On that same note, the next habit is my sleep schedule. Holy moly, this was a process in order to get to a solid sleep schedule. And it's hard, honestly. I'm gonna be totally straight up with you. My fiance's not gonna like that I said this, but he knows I'm saying it. He doesn't have the same sleep schedule as me, and I like to go to bed at the same time as my fiance. So I had to break my own habit of staying up late with him because it wasn't benefiting me and it wasn't making me the best version of myself. So I had to get into the habit of going to sleep by myself, and he was gonna stay up a little bit later, which is totally fine. But my sleep schedule now is very set, especially Monday to Friday. I am in bed by 9:45 at the very latest. I'm usually asleep by 10:30 at the latest, and I'm up between 6 and 6:30 every day. So there's a little bit of flexibility, and of course, if I have a day where I'm just exhausted, I give myself that flexibility to sleep in a little bit longer, and I, again, listen to my body, because if I'm just living by rigid rules, I become a robot, and that's gonna lead to burnout. So sleep schedule, again, removes decisions, and it gets rid of any decision fatigue, because I just know, okay, I know when I'm going to bed, I know when I'm waking up, I don't have to think about it. So my sleep schedule has been vital, and also committing to 8 hours a night as best I can, again, has been a game changer, because I know that's when I operate at the most optimal, is when I have 8 hours of sleep. And the next habit is, I kind of combine them together, but diet and exercise. I've always been a really active person. I was a dancer growing up. I did all kinds of dance. I basically worked out every single day because I was dancing pretty vigorously every single day, from hip hop to ballet, etc. And so for me, I need that in my life to feel good, to move my body every day. And I do think it has a huge correlation to your brain and to how much energy you have and you carry throughout the day. So working out for me is so important, but like I said, I used to be a robot, and I used to do weightlifting every single day and hard cardio every single day, and that's just not good for my body, and I have to really tune in and listen. So again, some days I'll do yoga, some days I will do a walk or a jog, some days I'll do HIIT cardio, some days I'll do spin, some days I'll do weightlifting. It totally varies on how my body feels and what time of the month it is. So I talked about this in my morning routine video, and I talked about the infradian rhythm, which is how a woman's body operates. And if you don't know this, you need to look it up. Regardless of your gender or how you identify, it's so important because it's different every single day. We are not meant to operate in the same way every single day. I learned this throughout the last couple of years, and honestly, it's probably my best productivity hack, is that I work with the time of the month that I'm in. Telling you, game changer. And then when it comes to diet, doing things like outsourcing my food to make sure that I'm getting healthy meals. I used to meal prep. That just got to be too busy for me. And so now I have my meals delivered. My fiance and I, we get our meals delivered every Sunday. It's a company called Fit Camp Foods. A lot of you asked, in Vancouver. They're amazing. And I actually have a code. They're not like affiliated with this video, but I have a code, and it's Sunny-20 if you want to use them. They're unreal. The food is so good, and it's super, super healthy. So that was a big thing for me too, because I just wasn't eating properly when I was working at home and I didn't have food in the fridge. I would make the most random things, or I'd make really poor decisions because I'd be so hungry by the time that lunch rolled around. And the other piece of my diet that's been really big is, it's sitting right next to me, my water. I drink like 3 of these a day, and it helps everything. Digestion, my skin, energy levels, brain fog, clarity. I drink a lot of water, and I know that's a basic piece of advice, but it's another habit that truly has changed my life. So like I said, these habits are not hard. They are things that are totally doable, and they're not meant to be rigid. They're just things that have helped me in my life in a major way. And when I boiled everything down that has changed my life so much in the last couple of years, these were the things. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what resonated most with you, and I can't wait to chat with you in the comments about it. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video, and hit that like button if you haven't yet, if you really did enjoy this. And make sure you check out these videos next, my morning routine, and all these other resources on the channel of how you can be the best version of yourself, be your own boss, build your own life. Thanks for watching.